Hi, I'm Faith McCann, and I've been a witch for over 40 years. And no, we are not evil. Learn more about the magical world and how the magical world affects your world right here on The Magical Alternative. And you don't have to be a witch to watch. Hello, magical ones. Welcome to The Magical Alternative. I'm your host, Faith McCann. Welcome to November, and welcome back, November Sound. Everyone give them a hand. So where were you guys haunting last month? Everyone missed you.
Well, we had a big adventure. Our son hiked the Appalachian Trail this summer, so we met him at the top of Mount Katahdin in Maine.
In Maine? That's
Yeah.
cool.
So the trail ends at the top of the mountain. That's where it ends. So he started April 29th and finished that week that we were recording. So Bill and
You
I,
had to go up to the top of the mountain?
well, he asked us.
Why?
He asked if we could meet him at the top
Oh,
because that's where the trail ends. But I don't
That's-
think anyone else does that. I think we're the only parents that ever did that.
Wow.
So we did. We made it up. It took us about 4.5 hours up, and
You had to hike?
we did. We hiked up to the top. Yeah.
You can't just drive?
Oh no, we hiked. We started at 7. We parked there at the gate at like 4 a.m, waiting to go in. And then we really didn't get sleep that night.
Oh my goodness.
We started hiking at 7, and we got up there at 11:30. And our son Will comes off in the distance at a different trail. We got a video of it, and everybody's cheering and hugging, and it was really incredible.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah.
awesome. So what about the video, like, how far up when you were just like,
Up the mountain.
kind of like, questioning that, he wanted you to hike up there. Was there any
Yeah.
grumbling?
Saddle slide, yeah. So the trail, there's so many different trails. So we took the Chimney Pond to Saddle Trail, and then when you get to the Saddle Trail, it's all like straight up sheer rock that's just kind of falling down. So Bill had to get up behind me and push me up because
Oh.
I'm like so tiny.
Wow. Oh,
So that was
yeah.
a little bit scary, and then I'm like, how am I going to get back down this? You know?
Yeah.
But we all hiked down together. Our son Will.
How did Bill get up?
Well, Bill's got long legs. He's 6'3", so
You were able to climb up. Okay, you
he
didn't
had
have
like no
to help.
problem.
You didn't have to
Bill?
hoist him up.
No,
Wow,
no.
that's
He had to
incredible.
push me up. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really an
Lots of
experience of a
pictures?
lifetime. Lots of pictures.
Oh wow,
And
that's
we were
awesome.
thinking about you guys. We did miss you, but
Really? Oh wow, I'm so impressed. Now that's love. There really is. That's awesome. Give me a hand, everybody. And what did I hear about this? You're singing for a ballet. What is that? That's so exciting.
okay, yeah. So a friend of ours, a musician friend of ours, composer Bruce Klepper, we met on SoundCloud many years ago. Bill did, and we decided to go out and visit him in Colorado. He lives in Colorado, and he composes music for the ballet in Colorado, and asked if I would sing on one of the songs that he wrote. So I'm on it. It's called Dance. Do you remember what it's called, Bill? I don't remember what it's called, but
Well, if we
Bruce
find out, we can
Klepper
put
on
it here.
SoundCloud.
Okay.
Yeah, you can find him, and it's there. The ballet is right there, like on the front page. If you find Bruce Klepper.
Oh, great.
So he's writing a whole bunch of songs for the ballet, and I'm singing on one of them.
Oh wow, that's so great. Well, we gotta find it and see it and hear it, and very good. Very good. Thank you. Well, we're very glad to have you back. That's awesome. So, well, thank you. So, thank you, everyone. Have you seen the last episode? If you did, because we did not have November Sound here, we had a few minutes at the beginning, and so with the magic of editing and our amazing Melanie here, she's so great at editing, we put in a song that I had written a number of years ago, and I was singing. I'm not a singer, seriously. And then we covered it with, well, it's kind of like a Sarah McLachlan commercial without the puppies. I can't do the puppies. So it's called Better Angels, and it was written by a good friend of mine, Jack Riley. You'll find their music under Darling, also on things like Spotify and iTunes. And so I hope you check it out. It's definitely interesting and designed for you not to hear the actual singing so much as watching the video. It's very cleverly done. So anyway, thank you, Melanie. Tonight we have a great show for you. We're excited to have with us again our good friend from Ireland, Mr. Gavin Bone, and he's going to be discussing runes. So give him a hand. We also went into the field and interviewed one of our local, probably one of the most famous local guest celebrities we've ever had on the show, and that is our local therapy dog, Gizmo. So give him a hand. And I want to thank our director, Gina, and our sound producer, Kelly, for going out into the field with me and making that entire experience so much easier. On a Sunday, they gave up their time, so I really appreciate you guys. Yeah. Also, from the Hebron Harvest Fair, we have Lily and Kitty, two amazing sea lions that we're going to show you some video of and talk about a little bit. So tonight, I'd like to start with a very special video. We had an email, because we're actually taping this in the beginning of October. We had an email from somebody asking if they could see on film a witch shop. And it made us start thinking that depending on where you're watching this, some people don't necessarily have the opportunity to go to a witch shop. Maybe you don't have one in your area, or you might not be comfortable going in one, not knowing what might be in there. So what we're going to show you now is a video that we took at Enchantments for you to see what a typical witch shop looks like. Hello. Hi. Welcome to Enchantments. Have you ever been to a witch shop before?
No, we were just saying we've never been into a shop before.
Well, welcome. You'd like to look around? If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. You'd like a sweet treat? Hi, I'm Faith McCann, the host of The Magical Alternative. I really hope you've been enjoying our show. Have you checked out the other interesting, entertaining, and informative shows here at Community Voice Channel? Local government, religion, and entertainment right here in your home or on your personal digital device. Well, public access television is in danger of being canceled. I know, that's right. Government funding is being cut, and we want to continue giving you the shows that you enjoy. You can show your support by scanning this QR code with your smartphone and make any size donation. All donations go to keep your favorite shows coming to you every month. We thank you for your support. Now we have a very special interview with you. He's been a therapy dog for pretty much his whole life. He's retired now, but he has worked at a local high school. He's also the state of Connecticut's smallest yet mightiest canine first responder, and he's a recipient of the Governor's Foot Guard Award. So here's Gizmo, the therapy dog. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Magical Alternative. And today we have a very special segment. I think this is my most famous celebrity I've had on the show so far, and we're going to call it Conversations with Gizmo. This is Gizmo, and he is a therapy dog, and this is his dog mom, Jen, and Jen Adams. How long has Gizmo been a therapy dog?
So Gizmo's 15 and a half, and he became a therapy dog when he turned 1. So what is that math? 14 and a half years?
Wow. I know I met you a really long time ago.
Long time ago.
He's just so special. I actually call him a psychic dog because you told me so many stories about, I remember one going to the hospital to see someone as part of his work, and then he takes you down the hallway and pulls you into another room of someone that he somehow knew was there and you didn't, or somebody that needed to see him. And
Can I tell that story?
could you please?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we went to a rehabilitation center to visit a friend, and I went out in the hallway, and a woman came out from the room next to us, and she looked in disbelief, and she said, "Is that the dog Gizmo?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "We didn't even know he lived in Connecticut, but my daughter is crying for him right now. She's just saying how badly she wants to see Gizmo." So we went in to meet her, and it was crazy, but Gizmo snuggled right up to her. She stopped crying and went on with our days.
And he knows this. And Gizmo has a sister.
Gizmo's brother.
Oh, brother.
And this is Gadget, and Gadget has taken the reins at the high school, and he works there. And Gizmo worked at the high school for, I think, about 12 years. 2 or 3 times a week, he would go and just hang out in the classes with the kids.
Really?
Well, I'm a teacher there, and Gizmo would just come with me to the classes, and he would just lay on kids' desks while they got their work done. And I had kids say, "Miss, I've never gotten this much writing done in one sitting before." So it's really miraculous, and a lot of people say, well, if there's a dog in the classroom, it'll be too much of a distraction. But really, it wasn't, and I found that on the days when he wasn't there, that it was a distraction sometimes, because the kids would say, "Miss, we wish Gizmo was here." So
That's really amazing. And now his brother Gadget is taking over his job.
yes,
So,
Gadget's walking in the classroom, Tom, baby boy.
so do you, students ever ask for Gadget, or
They do every day.
yeah, like if they're having a bad day or stressed, or is it just to say hi?
Both, because who doesn't need a smile whether they're feeling good or not, right?
Yeah, right? Oh, that's wonderful.
And Gadget has this little schedule up so the kids know where he's at, and during my prep times, a lot of kids will come in and just sit with them while I get my work done, and just have a little private time with them.
Now, I've heard that Gizmo has received some awards. Did I see that in the paper?
Yeah, he's gotten some awards. That's not why we do the work we do.
But it has been recognized.
He's been recognized.
And what type of animal?
So he most recently he was just such an honor. He was the recipient of the Sergeant Stubby. It's from the Connecticut Foot Guard, and he was the Sergeant Stubby Award for Canine Heroism recipient.
Wow.
And what a huge honor. Sergeant Stubby was a military service dog here in Connecticut and did a lot of great work. And it's just amazing that Gizmo was honored in that way.
For his therapy dog work.
For his therapy dog work and his canine first responder work and also
Oh.
his mental health work.
A canine first responder too? And what does a canine first responder of this size do? I'm assuming he's not sniffing out explosives or, but what would someone his size be able to do?
So he's actually the world's tiniest canine first responder.
Wow.
And every dog,
know that.
yeah, so they're canine human teams, and we utilize the human animal bond to help first responders after traumatic falls.
Oh, you're helping the first responders all.
And we help victims too, but our main purpose and mission is to make sure that first responders have their mental health needs met as well.
That is so important. Oh my goodness. I've often thought that therapy dogs are so vital and so important. And was it hard initially for you to get him into the school system? It's a public school, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was before therapy dogs were very common. Now you hear about therapy dogs everywhere.
Yeah.
So and people had their opinions, and they were strong opinions, and we just pushed through, and now it's just an accepted thing. And some of the people that were really against it at first, now they see the dog and they're like, oh, hi, they're all happy to see him. So I think it's nice that we changed that Gizmo and Gadget now, changed some ideas. In fact, there was a teacher that personally told me that he wasn't a fan of having the dog in school.
Oh.
And it's okay with me that
Yeah.
people, I understand everyone has a different viewpoint, different philosophies in education. So we were at the hospital one day, and Gizmo, I always let Gizmo take the lead. He led us into this room where this woman was on hospice, and she was an very elderly woman. And there was a whole family surrounding her, and one of the women looked up and said, Mom loved dogs, could he please come sit with her? And I said, sure. We went right in, and I had my back to most of the family. I didn't know she was in there, and
Yes.
Gizmo laid with her, and the mom smiled, and they said they hadn't seen a reaction out of her in days, and that was just a special gift. And so when I turned around to leave, guess who was sitting there? That teacher.
Are you serious?
And then
Wow.
a couple weeks later, we were at a store in Manchester where we used to do food drives for rescue.
Yes.
And he came in and he gave us a big chunk of change to go get some food for the pups.
So he won him over.
Yeah, so it was nice. Well, he said thank you without saying thank you. So
That was nice.
Yep.
That was nice. Oh, wow.
and it's just those kinds of stories that
Yeah.
it just makes you know that you're on the right track. You're traveling the right path in life when the universe, brings those things together.
And you have a bunch of them. I see Gizmo and Gadget's crew here.
Yes.
And you said they all have stories.
They do. So one thing Gizmo has really done in his life that I think I'm most proud of and I most benefit from is because when I got Gizmo, I just gone through a divorce and I moved here. I didn't know anybody. And I got Gizmo, and he really brought so many beautiful, strong women, especially, and some men into my life. And I would not have my circle of friends right now if it weren't for Gizmo. So some of them wanted to come here today and just share how Gizmo connected we're all connected through one little dog.
Yeah, that's amazing, and all the work he's done. So his therapy work works for everyone. So what are some of the stories? Well, what is your first name?
My name is Serena.
Hi, Serena.
Hi. I met Gizmo almost 10 years ago when I was 17. I'm 25 now, but I was at a pageant at the time with Miss Connecticut's scholarship organization,
Oh, wow.
which, yes, you put on fun dresses and you feel pretty and go on stage, but the biggest part of it is what you're doing outside of that one night.
Yes.
community involvement.
Absolutely. So after I met him, I kept thinking about him, following him on Facebook, and my passion has always been mental health as well.
Yeah.
All of my pageant volunteer experience, actually, now I'm a licensed clinical social worker.
Oh, that's amazing.
I work full time, and that's what I love to do. And something I love about Gizmo is how he makes people feel. And I think that's something that I carry with me a lot when I do therapy with people too. But this past year has been incredible working with him a little bit more closely. I was Miss Connecticut Volunteer 2025.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Here, they're looking for somebody who's well-rounded, which means they're going to want to talk to you first. So when I went into that interview room, I told them what it would mean to me to be a leader, what mission I would have during my year. And so that's when I brought up my mental health platform, Wings for Wellness, spreading mental health awareness.
Wow, that's awesome.
I presented to over 50 classrooms / churches, senior centers all over. I love doing it, and it's something I learned while in school for social work and put the programs together myself.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's focused on promoting your strengths, what supports you have in your environment when things get tough, and then also what qualities you have inside of yourself that help you handle difficult situations. That happened to align very well with Gizmo and everything he represents as well.
Right? Yes.
So I always sent opportunities to Gizmo saying, please come do this event with me,
Yeah.
because everybody loves Gizmo.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
Do you plan on ever getting therapy dogs or
Oh, I would love to.
incorporate them into your practice?
Absolutely. So Gizmo is always welcome, or his friends, but I work at a community health center right now, but end goal is a private practice, and I love how therapy dogs can be incorporated into it for sure.
I think it's so important. I mean, I've heard of therapy courses. And I just think the whole concept of having animals interact with humans on a whole nother level, not as just a pet or as a plaything or as a sport or something like that, I think is just so important. And that is really amazing. So that's great. And so Gizmo now, he also is the author of a mental health book. Could you tell me about that?
Sure.
Jen is taking care of business.
Yeah, so it's Gizmo's Guide for Possum Mental Health, which I have a copy of my own. I have the Gizmo plushie to go with it. And it's a book that is from Gizmo's perspective, telling you how it is, which is everybody has big feelings and that's okay. But working through how do you deal with those? So making sure it's okay to talk to somebody, it's okay to take a deep breath or take a break, and feeling those feelings are okay, which is how you get through those moments.
And we're going to put the website where you can find more information about Gizmo and Gizmo's mission, how you can get a copy of his mental health book for you, and you can read it to your young people. Also, there's a lot more stuff on the website where you can find out more and perhaps get more goodies. So, any of Giz merch?
Absolutely.
We will tell you how you can get it
He's
because
currently doing a fundraiser. It's the first t-shirt ever with both Gizmo and Gadget.
cool.
And we are fundraising for an organization called Soul Friends that
Soul
pairs
Friends.
clinicians with therapy animals, including horses,
Oh, I love it.
for their therapy sessions. So the kids get to interact with the clinicians as well as the animals while they're having therapy. Yeah, and they're all trauma informed, very highly specialized clinicians, and just a very an incredible program.
And if you give us that website or that contact information,
Absolutely.
we'll put this here because I know a lot of people are looking for information for things like that.
In fact, that's another connection that Gizmo made because they recently had a concert, a fundraising concert And Serena, who knew Gizmo but not Soul Friends, was nice enough to come and be the MC for the whole thing. And then another Gizmo friend actually had a band and they performed there. So it's all
Yes.
a connection,
You
right?
know everybody.
He said, "Don't worry, I know how the puzzle fits together. You might not, but I do."
Well, thank you, everyone, Giz and Gadgets and friends, for being here tonight on the Magical Alternative. And if you see somebody with a dog, don't ask if they're a therapy dog. I mean, just if they're giving someone comfort and peace, go with it. It's easy. Just go with the flow, and yeah. Thank you so much, and we'll be right back. And now we have our wonderful magical alternative band, November Sound.
The falling leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your leaves, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. When autumn leaves start to fall. When autumn leaves start to fall.
Woo! Awesome. That's November Sound. And here's November Sound again with an Adele classic.
If you're not the one for me, then I'll come. I can bring you to your knees. If you're not the one for me, why do I hate the idea of being free? And if I'm not the one for you, you've got to stop holding me the way you do. Oh, honey, if I'm not the one for you, what have we been through? What we have been through? It's so cold out here in your wilderness. I want you to be my keeper, but not if you were so reckless. If you're gonna let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me all loving water under the bridge. If you're gonna let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me all loving water under the bridge. Oh, 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 oh. Say that all loving water under the bridge. Oh, 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 oh. Say that all loving water under the bridge. And what are you waiting for? You're not a sin to make it down gently, don't pretend that you don't want me. All loving water under the bridge. If you're gonna let me down gently, don't pretend that you don't want me. All loving water under the bridge. Oh, 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 see the all loving water under the bridge. Oh, 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 see the all loving water under the bridge. It's so cold down here in your wilderness. I want you to be my keeper, but not if you were so reckless. If you're gonna let me down gently, don't pretend that you don't want me. All loving water under the bridge. If you're gonna let me down gently, don't pretend that you don't want me. All loving water under the bridge. Oh, 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 see the all loving water under the bridge. Oh, 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 see the all loving water under the bridge. Oh, 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 see the all loving water under the bridge.
Yeah, that was great. November Sound. And thank you, November Sound. That was amazing. And welcome back. Tonight, we have for our guest, again, a wonderful guest of Magical Alternative, a good friend, and the author of The Inner Mysteries, Healing Craft, Lifting the Veil. Everyone, give a hand for Mr. Gavin Bone.
And thank you. It's great coming back to the Magical Alternative.
Oh, it's great having you. It's so great. And I'm very excited about the topic tonight, runes. And I want to say, you know, I'm a tarot card person, a pendulum, crystal ball. I really don't know very much about the runes. So I think with my audience, I think we're going to learn an awful lot tonight with this segment. So could you start with telling us how long you've been studying the runes and how did you get started?
I got my first rune set in 1980.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was about 1980, 1981. And it was by, I got it off of a book club I was in. And it was by a gentleman called Ralph Blum. And it was this little book here you got. And you got a set of runes in ceramic, 25 runes.
Okay.
Because Ralph Blum is guilty of the first runic heresy, which I'll explain later. So it's a lovely book.
Oh.
There it is.
Oh,
And
wonderful. Yes.
The plastic blister pack with these 25 ceramic runes. And you got a velvet bag they all came in. So it's a little set, and it was the first set ever mass produced. And that's how I started. And I had an interest in them, but the Elder Futhark as such, the 24 oldest runes, there was something about them that didn't really click for me. And as I began to study over the next few years, I suddenly came across the Anglo-Saxon runes.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I really started to get into working with the runes. And I've been working with them ever since. They're a personal path for me. I'm more well known for Wicca, witchcraft.
Yes.
But if I'm doing magic, if I'm doing divination, it's with runes. So that's really how I started. On, and then
Okay.
10 years ago, I decided I would actually start teaching.
Wow. So the Elder Futhark and the Anglo-Saxon, two totally separate types?
No,
of
the Elder
runes?
Futhark, okay, a little bit of history.
Yes.
You'll hear people talking about proto runes, and really these are just symbols they found going back about 1,000 years. And people say, well, proto runes are the origins of the modern runes that we know of. Modern is a relative term here. But the things with proto runes is you find the same symbols in Ireland, where the Norse never got to, where the Germanic peoples never got to.
Okay.
It actually comes from one author who wrote an academic book back in the 1960s. This idea that they originate from the proto runes. Now, then you get these finds, and the earliest find is about 160 Common Era AD, and they're actually in Denmark, a place called Vimosa, and they're finds dating from about there were finds dating there from about 160 to 300, and there's a comb, there's a buckle, there's a chape, and there's a plate and a spear. And so they've got 150 years period. And these are definitely elder runes. They're the oldest form.
And those shapes were in a buckle, a
A
comb.
buckle, they're scratched onto the metal.
Oh. Wow.
They're scratched onto the metal. You get about the same time one of the first rune stones. That's about 175, 200.
Okay.
And that is just a stone with runes carved on. Then you've got other finds from the next couple of hundred years. You've got 2 spears, the Starbu spearhead, which actually the inscription is a name on it. And runes on many of these pieces were just literally people's names saying, this is my property. You've got a spearhead in the Ukraine, about 200. So they're traveling west and they've traveled east. And that's known as the Kovel spearhead. Then you've got a couple of drinking horns from Denmark. A lot of finds in Denmark, interestingly enough. Again, about 300 Common Era. Those are known as the Gallius horns. Again, beautiful. The runic inscription is much clearer on those. But the really big find is in Gotland. Gotland is an island in the Baltic between northern Germany and Sweden.
Yes.
And what they found there in a graveyard at Kilva was a massive stone, and they lifted it up. It was over a grave. And they found what we now know as the Elder Futhark altogether. All the runes in a row. 24.
Oh.
Because the Elder Futhark is 24 runes. Not 25, 24.
The ones that we're familiar with today.
Yes, these are the commonest ones in use
Oh.
as such. And those are the Elder. So that stone is about 400. But also at that period, you have about within the next about 10 years, 20 years later from that being created, you have various groups, Frisians, Jutes, Anglo-Saxons crossing over into the British Isles, and they're bringing the runes in, and the runes change, and the runes move up in number. They actually go up they start off at approximately about 26 runes, 24, 26, they go up to 29, 31, and eventually 33 runes. And those are the Anglo-Saxon runes.
Oh.
But the base for them is still the Elder Futhark.
Okay.
And then, so by the 5th, 6th centuries, you have the Anglo-Saxon runes, the Anglo-Saxon Futhark. We talk about the Elder Futhark, and Futhark is like saying alphabet. When we say alphabet, we're saying alpha, beta, A, B. When you say Futhark, those are the first runes along the row. And in the Anglo-Saxon, it's not an A, there's an O, so it's Futhark, whereas elder runes are Futhark.
Oh. Okay.
So you have those, and the next deviation is what they call the younger Futhark, and that appears round about the 700-800s, and those are what are actually the Viking runes.
I was going
The
to
Elder
ask
Futhark,
about the Viking.
Yeah, the Elder Futhark aren't actually Viking, they're Germanic.
Oh,
Not German, Germanic.
Germanic.
People tend to say German, but German is now used as a word from modern Germany, and it confuses people. It's about linguistics. The Angles, Saxons, Jutes, Danish, even the Swedish, have a Gothic, a Germanic language.
Oh my goodness. And wasn't the Germanic originally like Scandinavia and a little bit
No,
south?
the
or-
Germanics are originally Gothic. They're Goths.
Oh,
They
wow.
come in. Okay, they're actually responsible for sacking Rome at one point,
Okay.
and they come in along. They follow on from the Gallic, from the Celts.
Yeah.
They're the second wave. Linguistically and culturally, there are very strong similarities. For example, you get the god Thunor, Thursaz, Thor in Germanic,
Yeah.
but actually people don't realize in Gallic you've got his equivalent storm god, Tyrannos. And up in Lithuania, you've got Pukurnas, and they're all the same god, really. But what happens is, over time, the separation of tribes, they separate tribally, and the language changes. So originally it's coming from the Goths, and it's moving from the east to the west. Hence you've got that spearhead in Ukraine, the Kovel spearhead,
Yes.
runes on.
And it's the spearhead that has the runes on it in Ukraine.
Same as the Stabu spearhead in Norway. They're both
And-
very similar.
And the drinking horns have the runes on them.
Yes,
I
they're
see.
all Elder Fudak.
I see. Okay.
And there's all sorts of finds. There's plates, there's rings.
How do you think with these dated to that particular era, the 200 AD, 175 AD, 300 AD, how were they using the runes at that time, finding them on these objects?
How are they using them? Well, it seems very much. So we have, interestingly enough, the Stabu spearhead has the word in runic runias, which means tester. Now that suggests that's defining its role. Other ones, like the comb, has a name on it for belonging to a person. So they're being used to describe the use of something.
As an alphabet. They're being
Yes.
used to
They're being used as a language.
as a language.
Yeah, you need to. So when people think of runes, they think of them immediately for divination.
Yes.
Then they think of them for magic, and then they think of them as language. But initially, they start off as a language. Now, there's basically 4 theories about how they developed, because the one thing that sticks out when you look at the runes is they appear to have modern letters in them. So there's 4 theories developed. One theory is that they started off in central Germany, which is now pretty much dismissed.
Okay.
The other theories relate to them coming from Etruscans, Gothic Alpine, from influenced by Greek or influenced by Roman around the Black Sea. What they believe is when Germanic tribes came across these languages, they went, wow, these people are doing magic. Because I want you to think about something.
Yeah.
If you're a peoples and you've never come across written language, and you never come across the concept of written language, that's very magical.
Yes.
So I think initially Gothic traders adopted and created their own language, which was secret. This went on into tribes, particularly the priestly caste, the nobility who learnt this language. Now, if you imagine, I've got this like little rune stick here, rune stave stick. If you don't know about language, you have no concept of it, and you see me being given this stick, and it says, oh, look, the Romans are attacking our village. That's magical. It looks as though this stick has just talked to me.
Ah, I see.
So from this, runes, so it starts off as a language for a small group. Then something occurs to people. Well, if this magical language can talk to person, surely we can talk to the gods.
Ah,
So they would inscribe sticks or other things, and what they would do is they'd give offerings and messages to the gods, burn these sticks with runes on as a message to the gods.
our petitions today.
Okay? Help me against the Romans.
Yeah.
or something similar. Now, what's the next stage? Well, now we get to that's magic.
Yeah.
That's magical practice. So now from that comes the use of runes as being energies in the universe, which you can manipulate. So it involves from worship of God, to asking gods for help, to basically using runes by writing them in runic scripts to basically manipulate the forces around you. And the third stage is this: if you can talk to the gods can talk to you. And this is where you get divination with runes.
I like that. Now that was just the first part of our interview with Mr. Gavin Bone. We'll finish up with the second part in our next episode. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce you to two sea lions, Kitty and Lily. I met them at the Hebron Harvest Fair this past August, September, and they come all the way from Argentina. I checked with their handlers and they're taken care of very humanely. They're fed fish all day long. They love what they do. They love taking pictures with people. I was at this fair for 4 days and I watched the handling of these lovely animals. And I watched how they interact with people. They seem to love people. One little girl was a little scared when her parents went up to have pictures taken, so she started to cry. And Lily, the sea lion, went over on her back and started waving her flippers, and you could see she was just trying to make the little girl stop crying. It was really an incredible animal-human interaction. It was beautiful. And speaking with the handlers, they go to great extremes to treat them very humanely. Sadly, with some of the research I have done, and this goes back, unfortunately, about 20 years, scientists have sent out research boats from the United States, many times off the coast of New England, all the way over to Scotland. And every mile or so, they'll drop nets, not looking for fish, but dragging the ocean and picking it up and seeing what it is that they can pick up. And it's been a long time since the nets have come up with anything other than garbage. Now, any fish they throw back, but it's plastics, it's waste, it's human contaminants. So unfortunately, the day is coming very soon when the oceans will no longer be inhabitable for these animals. So for people that feel that zoos that are taken care of by humans are a terrible thing for wild animals, what we're doing to the wild is even worse. And unfortunately, should some of these animals hope to exist in the future, this is going to be our responsibility because of what we have done. So trying to find out, how they're cared for and then contributing to these causes are very good things. So check out these sea lions down below, Lily and Kitty. And if you happen to be in their area when they visit your town, check them out because they were really, really awesome. So anyway, thank you, Kitty and Lily, and Ivo and Pablo.
Make some noise for Lily and Kitty, guys. Good. Very good. There is no sea lion splash show complete.
Next, I'm going to finish up by talking about harvest fairs and orchard fests. I grew up in the country, and this is going to air in November. So November, of course, we have Thanksgiving. We've talked about that in the past. Well, I grew up on a farm, and I remember riding up on bales stacked super high up on the back of trucks on the way back to the barn, playing in the fields, making dolls out of corn from the fields. And growing up on the farm, we weren't rich, but we didn't know what it was like to be poor. A farmer works 7 days a week, 365 days a year, every year, from 5 a.m. until sundown or afterwards. They do not get days off, vacations, weekends, even birthdays. And the Harvest Fest, the Apple Fest, the Peach Fest, the Oktoberfest, all at this time of year are held to celebrate a couple of common things all of humanity shares, food and community. So the reward for a year's worth of hard work, usually held on the farms, at least in the past. Today, this is taken over by Thanksgiving feasts, but you are celebrating the farmer and their partnership with the earth. So even if it's a Thanksgiving feast with your family, whether you're going to one of these festivals and fairs, it's nice to remember what they represent, and family, food, community, it's just a really beautiful thing. I've been to a few fairs this year, and what I've noticed is huge groups of people congregating in joy and happiness, enjoying the good weather, the good food, music, laughter. It's all ethnicities, all races, all cultures, all religions, all peoples. I went to one fair this year, just recently, the Hebron Harvest Fair, and I was there all 4 days. I had to be there all 4 days because I got a season pass. And I realized if I didn't go there all 4 days, I was going to save all of like 29 cents. So it's like I wanted to get my money's worth, so I was going all 4 days, and it was so much fun. So on the fourth day, I realized the place was packed. There were so many people, but one thing I realized, I had never seen one angry, upset person, not one stressed out mom, not one, upset parent, not any kids fighting. I was just like, what is going on? And I had competed in some of the arts and crafts competitions. My dad competed also. We like to do that every year. And as I was bringing my items on the last day back to the car, I was noticing people leaving at the end of the last day and going to the parking lot, and everyone was smiling and laughing. I'm starting to think, is somebody at the gate telling jokes? Like, did I miss a comedian? But then I realized it was just people just had a really good time. And that doesn't make the news, and it should. It really should. That would be a great show for CVC. I'm gonna put that out there. Somebody to actually do a news show about good news. Wouldn't that be a cool concept? Because I thought that was just so awesome. So many people having a good time, and it was a blast. So Hebron Harvest Fair, it's put on by the Hebron Lions Club. They do other things throughout the year. They're just a good organization. I don't know any of these people. I'm just somebody that competes and just loves the fair, and I really have no association with them other than this one time of the year, and I can't recommend them enough. So definitely check it out. It's been going on for over 50 years now. So also you'll find this time of year in November, we still have corn mazes, hay rides through orchards. Has such a Connecticut thing, isn't it? We have the Fish Family Farm in Bolton. Oh, I want to show you this. I did put this photograph in the fair. It didn't win anything because it's so hard to win in the photography category, But I went up to the Fish Family Farm in Bolton, where they have the most amazing ice cream for people. And this one here, she was so beautiful, and she knew it. They have brown Jersey cattle, and she was just like, look at me. I am just... take my picture. So I was really happy to get a lot of photographs, and you can walk around the corrals with the animals. They've got chickens and other barnyard fowl, and they have the cows. You can go in the barns when they're milking the cows. They have the smaller calves out there, and of course they have the ice cream in their little shop, and it's right here in Bolton. Super great place, so check it out. I definitely recommend them. Remember, in the state of Connecticut, any and all state parks are free to enter if you have a Connecticut license plate. You pay entry with your car's registration. So go and enjoy and explore. Please check out our brand new magical and shiny website, enchantmentct.com. And you can even write us at our brand new Gmail address. It's brand new now. You could be the first one, enchantmentsct@gmail.com. Can you believe we got such a cool email address? So, is it your dream to be on television, to have your own TV show? How do you do it? Contact the public access television station in your town and they will help you set it up. Get some friends, get a concept, and they'll help you make your dream a reality. I want to thank everybody on the crew. November Sound, we're so glad to have you back at CVC. And let's keep focusing on peace in the Middle East and Slava Ukraini. Thank you.